tell you what the gradient of this line is, I can just tell you that, well, but this line is parallel to the other line, so solve for it. Don't say, oh, you've not told me what the gradient is, but I told you it's parallel to the other one. Another thing it tells you is if two lines are perpendicular. So, for instance, the gradient of a perpendicular line is not just the reciprocal of the other one's gradient, but it's also the negative of it. So if you know the gradient of one line and you're told that, well, another line is perpendicular, it means that it's got a gradient of -1 over the other gradient. E.g., if y equals to 3x plus 2 is one line, then a perpendicular line to this must have a gradient of -1 over the gradient of this one. Since the gradient of this one is 3, then -1 over 3. Quickly noted. All right, so let's look at some beautiful examples and we can appreciate what this is all about. Given a line y equals to 3x plus 5, show that it passes through the point 1, 8. Now, this is what we call a coordinate of a point. Every point in a graph has got an x value and a y value, and we write it this way, x, y. So the first term there is the x, the second one is the y value. So what you're told to do now is show that this point is a point on this line. So you're told to find out if x is 1, does this line tell you that y should be 8? If it does, then that's a point on the line. Solution: y equals to 3x plus 5. Y equals to 3 into x, which is 1, plus 5, and that is 8. Therefore, what have I done? Therefore, 1, 8 is a point on the line. Is 0, 2 a point on the line? Well, if you put 0 here, it becomes 3 times 0 plus 5. That's 5. 0, 2 tells you that when x is 0, y should be 2. But the line tells you that no, when x is 0, y should be 5. So 0, 2 is not a point on the line. You can do that for as many questions as possible. Second question is, now that you know that, find a line parallel to the line y equals to 3x plus 5, which passes through the point 3, -5. So you're told to look for a new line now. Now this line has a gradient, right? But we were not told the gradient, but we were told that this line passes through the point 3, -5. Instead of telling us what the gradient is, they told us it's parallel to another line. Now that other line, we know what the gradient is because the gradient is 3. Take note, take note. The gradient of the parallel line is therefore equal to 3 because they are parallel, and it passes through the point 3, -5. So what is the formula for getting the equation of a line? I know I didn't say this before, but I left it for this moment. The equation of a line is simply y minus y1 over x minus x1 equals to the gradient m. Okay, and you can also write that as y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. Of course, that's just the cross multiplication of that. So what is y1? What is x1? Y and x are variables, you leave them that way. M is the gradient, which we now know is 3. Y1 and x1 are the values of the coordinates of the points which it passes through. So in this case, y1 is -5, x1 is 3.